Yo, what's good? It's your guy Brahma Guru, and in this video, I'm going to show you the sounds inside this crazy STRINGZILLA plugin. Okay, so before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment to show some love. This helps push the video out into the algorithm so more producers could discover plugins like this. Okay, so this is an all-out string plugin. It has 45 different strings inside here. And the way that this was created is I had purchased one of my favorite keyboard racks, the Trinity. So the Trinity, the Korg Trinity, I remember back in the day, that was one of the keyboards that I was creating on and studying on back in like 2001, 2002. And then the Motif ES, right? The Motif 6 was my first like real keyboard, and that was about 2003. So those two keyboards combined, I have some nostalgic history with these. I actually sat with these, lived with these, and kind of, got my chops in with these keyboards. So one thing I noticed is they have the most beautiful sounding instruments, man. Whatever Yamaha and Korg was doing at that time to resample these instruments, they were doing their thing. So what I did was I took both of these racks and I combined different strings, right? And I added my tweaks to them and everything, and ran them through my Big Six SSL to get them even beefier and sounding even more live. So, ran through the analog channel strips and whatnot to give you that real established professional sound so that your sounds have been ran through the right circuitry, all of that jazz. So that's how we got Stringzilla. Let me go ahead and play you some of the sounds. And I love layering sounds, so that's why I did it with this plugin, the way that that gives you some type of edge, because now you're using strings that have never existed before. You combine two things together, you create something that never existed. Almost like two people coming together to have a child, they create a new being, a new energy that has never existed before. So first thing we got is this 3 pyramid strings. When I first created this plugin, I wanted to call it, well, I did call it, I called it God King Strings, but it didn't really stick. So Stringzilla came to me because I already was creating Funkzilla and also Subzilla, and it fit right into the trio. So you have a very nice film score type quality sound when you're dealing with the Stringzilla. You can even modulate the strings if you want to. If I want to, I can go to the LFO, choose the waveform. Right, give it some trippy sound. I can even trigger. I'm triggering the LFO with the mod wheel right now, but I could do it with just the velocity. Right, I could do it. I could even send it, instead of pitch, I can make it pan. So there's a lot of things you could do to kind of create your own vibration with these sounds. And that was 29 cello strings. This one is Antiqua strings. That sounds like Kanye almost, flashing lights. If you want to make something real pretty, real dynamic, you could use these Antiqua strings. Blasphemy strings, right? So that even gives you like a dark, that name. That's why we name the sounds the way we do, because we want you to be inspired, inspire your creativity. It makes it easier. Just like when you're selling beats, you want to name the beat something that gives the artist an idea of where to go with the song. That's a low-key aspect of producing, how you name your and title your beats, right? I'm just throwing random chords together, man. I'm still, learning how to express myself on this here keyboard. Centuria strings. Should I say express myself better? Because once you start understanding music theory, it allows you to unlock certain things within yourself. So I've been learning, throughout the years on my own time, some music theory. So that is Centuria strings. They sound real big and bright. All right. So, and I'm just going to go to a random one. Let's just monarch strings. I'm going to make sure this is loud so you can hear it too. Right? You can hear the definition of the strings in these sounds. That's why I love this instrument so much. As a matter of fact, if you heard any strings in the last beats that I've done within the last couple of months, I've been using this. I was using the first version, the God King strings. So I'll pull some of those sessions up in future videos. If you want to see them, drop a comment so that I know to do that. Um, so yeah, so this is what it is, man. Let me play this muffled strings. And they play true to their name, muffled. Right, and then we have nightshade. And like I said, you could tweak them. I could add some chords to this, make it sound real filtered. Then we could add a delay if we want to. I love adding delays to strings because it gives you so much dimension. I could turn this into a pad if I wanted to. Right, that's the beautiful thing. As a matter of fact, I might make a batch of these strings and just turn them into pads. If you want something like that, add it to this plugin. Let me know. I might just do it and just add it as an extra expansion. Right, and this is OB1 strings. And that's the magic about the time that these devices like the motif was created in the Trinity. It was around the time of the hip hop golden era. So some producers are like, yo, how can I get that sound? You got to go back to the sounds that they were using in the hip hop golden era in the same processes. Run yourself through some outboard gear. By the time you heard the Neptunes beats, they were already ran through this analog gear. So they sound clean, they sound fat. But in their raw form, I'm sure they didn't have the same sonic quality. And that goes for anybody, Little John stuff, anybody that was hot at that time, Dr. Dre, all of them producers are running their stuff through analog gear to get that fat richness, that mixing. I heard Warren G talk about this. Mixing is more important than producing. And he was on the interview with Don Cannon, and he was talking about that. You got to make sure that you know how to mix or that your stuff sounds good. Otherwise, people aren't going to be able to enjoy it. So that's why it's important to use sounds that are already pre-mixed. This is old era strings. Right, real dry. You could add reverb to them if you want to. You can even add some distortion if you want to go that route with it. So let me play you one more. I'm just going to pick a random one, tarot strings. So that is what Stringzilla is all about. The prettiest, most beautiful, luxurious, atmospheric strings that you could put your hands on, taken straight from the most professional devices that you could use, combined and twisted into something you've never heard before. That's what Stringzilla is about. So if you want to wake up your creative beast and you want to go in the lab with sounds that inspire you, that give you ideas and tell you what to do when it's time to create, and you know that you're going to be your sonic quality is going to be high, download Stringzilla right now. You need this in your arsenal. If you're watching this video, it was meant for you to have it. Go grab Stringzilla right now while you can, okay? I did leave the link in the description too, so all you got to do is just hit the link. It's going to bring you right to the product page. You hit add to cart and you check out. Right now, at the time of this video, we're doing a buy one, get one free. So if you see this and you want to grab Stringzilla, you get the next plugin. There's over 25 to 30 plugins on the website right now. Actually, I lost count. I've been dropping so many plugins, but you have so many options to choose from for your next plugin to get for free. So go grab it right now. Grab Stringzilla and get the next plugin on the house. All right? Peace, love, and beats. Salute.